Hello, everyone. Welcome to Call to Power. This is a dark, high fantasy game of strife and hope. This is a series sponsored by Hedron, and you are currently watching episode 1 of our dark series. Before we jump into the story, I would love to say thank you to our sponsor, Hedron, for making this possible, and to also introduce all of the lovely people here in our cast. Please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and a little bit about your character before we jump in. And we'll start with Brandon. Hello.
Hello, Stella. Well, my name is Brandon R. Kim, and you can find me at that on the social media pages. I'll be playing Bishop Barrelmore today, and Bishop Barrelmore is a an elderly man and a clergy member of the purple iridescent, one of the religions here in the world. Um, they are a clergy member of the Glass Saint, and that is where we'll be finding them here today.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And you can find Brandon at that link there in chat. Next, we have Dan.
Hello, I'm Domestic Dan, and that's me on all the social media everywhere as well. And I'm playing Laith Reed, who will be an adept, kind of trying to style them almost ranger-esque. Was kind of the thought there, because yeah, didn't want to just be little rogue out in the woods, so I'll just be a ranger out in the woods. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to Drac.
Hi, I'm Drac or Draconics. You can find me on all socials at Draconics. That's Drakoniques. I do a bunch of tabletop TTRPG kind of stuff. So just follow me on that. Kind of what I'm doing at any given moment. I'm playing Stitches. Already called out by some people in chat. Yes, he is basically Patches. So watch your back for the most part. But if you're useful and helpful to me, you don't need to watch your back right now at the moment yet.
Missing. Thank you very much. Helping set the tone of the story we're about to tell. I love it. We will move on over, last but certainly not least, Mandy. Hi.
Hi everybody. I'm Mandy, or the Mandy, with two eyes on the end of that. All over the internet. I'm a professional game master, and I do all the things and all the stuff all over the internet. I'm also a designer and illustrator, and I'm playing Beatrix. I will be of the Opaline Battle Mages. So going to be packing a bit of a punch as well as magic right in your face.
Excellent. Call to Power is a D20 based system that intermixes hard mechanics of traditional D20 games with the soft machinations of fate itself, that portend legends of fate, death, and the price that you pay for power. It takes in a place of a noble, dark, multi reality universe where the veil between mortality and immortality are only as real as you make them. We are going to start off with a fate draw. I have pre-drawn these already, and typically these are secret. And the storyteller, me, would not tell them to the cast, but for the purposes of, hey, hi audience, you know what's going on. You can see here on the overlay the cards that I have drawn as fate. Storyteller has 3 different roles: the Mason, which is the sculptor of reality, generally when they do any world building or they set the tone and the scene. Death, who is responsible for viewing every individual as equals, including monsters, NPCs, PCs, and is the keeper of the bridge and death's door. So if you drop to 0 hit points and you are in the threat of death, we'll resolve that accordingly. The last role that I will be taking is Fate, where I ensure equality and impartiality and draw from the deck of Fate, which is the Fate draw that you see here. These will determine where fortune and misfortune are found in our game. Whenever a player rolls with fortune, it is essentially you're going to roll 2d20s and take the higher value. If you have misfortune, you roll 2d20s and you take the lower value. The fate draws that I have drawn here are Doom, Stagnation, and Genesis. For the sake of keeping things interesting for our players, I'm not going to define them, but whenever you get your hands on this game and want to see what those mean, you can check that out. We will begin. Menacing. I didn't practice that at all, y'all. Welcome, the Starfields. You exist in a universe that swims in perpetual darkness. Pockets of life and light made manifest amidst dread and emptiness, gathered together by the faintest of magic and hope. It's a little hard to see because of my bangs. I have to move my bangs. Okay. The Starfields are both terrifying and beautiful, like dropping a sheet of stained glass, scattered bits of color scattered on a silky bed of ink. It is impossible to determine how long these islands have existed amidst the black sea of space and stars. It is the ancient magic that permits the bravest of those that dwell within to cross the veils and move between them. Sometimes, places usually left unseen. The largest of these shards is the city shard of Valais, something like a capital world in this distant corner of the Starfields. It is a decaying Gothic city split by a bone deep chasm that is void of color and light. It is here that the structures are built upon structures, tall gray buildings of stone that house the lives of people who seek to challenge the lonely vastness of the Starfields and, in so, have found each other. Belay yawns awake in a new turn as industry stirs from sleep. The sound of shops opening, hearths igniting, and the shuffle of feet and tools floating through the unseen cobbled streets. The entirety of the city is like an old cathedral, ancient sounds groaning from towers of gray stone that crown the edges of the chasm that splits the city in twain. Occasionally, pinpoints of color scurry across narrow, spine-like bridges that are strung over this impossible void. Distant people shrouding themselves tightly in their vibrantly hued scarves and cloaks as they make their way across, desperate to keep color in a world that is often gray. The boldest of the people that live in Valais are the Seekers, a faction of great minds, warriors, and creators that have taken it upon themselves to go where no one else has, to explore and understand the mystery of the Starfields, of how it came to be, and of what it eventually will become. You, my cast members, are a seeker. You joined this organization and accepted their mission to learn and explore what you can of the different realms in the Starfields. It is, however, not without its own unique dangers. Let's introduce each one of our characters with a little insight of where you come from and where you might call home, however temporary or permanent it is in Valais. You have been given a summon, and you will eventually make your way to the Luminarium, the headquarters for the Seekers. We'll start off. Who I start off with? Who am I going to pick on? It's going to be Drac. Of course, I'm going to pick on Drac. So Drac, in this city made of gray stone, where every person who dwells here clings desperately to the color that they can find, color which represents life, which represents magic. Where do we find Stitches?
I think in this moment, in between the already very packed city, the alleyway between two buildings, you see Stitches crouched over a body. It seems they must have fallen off a high roof at some point. Nothing to do with Stitches, obviously, as you see them crouched over their body, ruffling through their pockets. Seeing nothing of really value or use, maybe pull out some scraps of fabric, some scraps of red that someone managed to get their hand on, kind of tosses that to the side, and then goes to their hands and notices they have one ring. Really, it's just obsidian black, nothing special. But they go, okay, better than nothing. And they pull the ring off the body's finger and pockets it.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
get The first roll of today. As you're looking at this ring, can I please get a check from you? Let's say it's going to be perception.
Oh,
What you are going to
perfect.
do here is you're going to roll a single d20 and add your perception modifier.
I rolled 19 on the die for 26
Okay.
perception.
For the 26, you're looking at this ring. It is a copper band and it has a deeply, deeply red gem emblazoned into it. You can see that the gem has been carefully crafted to resemble a mouth. This is something that you've seen before. This is perhaps a representation of one of the iridescents. Iridescents are, as far as you know, titans. They are anchors to some of the larger shards here in the star fields. Some people consider iridescents to be demigods. Most extreme of opinions, however, are that they are perversions of curses. They are monsters that just accumulated a gross amount of power to the point that they become tethered to the livelihood of the shard that they call home and domain. This belongs to the iridescent known as the Maw of Birth. You know this to be an entity of crimson magic.
Interesting. Seen a lot of these recently. Let's make, and they kind of reach into their pocket and pull out this. At first glance, just looks like almost like a wad of twisted metal. But at close inspection, you see that it's several rings, about 3 rings welded together. And they kind of slip those rings into their hand, and you see that it fits like a brass knuckle. They hold it, the new ring against it, as if checking if it fits the aesthetic, as if it fits the uh use case he's going to be using it for. I mean, I suppose I could put this in the middle. It could be a good accent piece. Yeah, sure. And they shove the new ring into their pocket.
As you shove it into your pocket, you don't see this. We see a faint red glow coming off of the gem. It gets stowed away. Where do you go next? What do? You have been summoned to the Luminarium, the headquarters. You don't necessarily have to head there right away.
I'm taking the scenic route. So I'm definitely heading there, but if I see anyone with anything interesting or anyone who seems particularly lost, I will give my I suppose you can call it aid, where I can along the way.
Okay. As you begin to move through the gray streets of Valais, you bump into a particular alley that seems to be particularly dark. Color here seems to bleed thin, and you see before you is a shade, a memory in the shape of something that was once vaguely humanoid, half forgotten and half forgetting itself. It has a young voice when it whispers out to you, holding out its hands, which you see are faintly stained with crimson. Share your hue, please. Just a touch.
Uh, sorry, don't have anything to share at the moment. Maybe the next person saw someone wearing a lot of red down the road. And I just kind of back away slowly. How normal is it to see shades like this?
You know that they shy away from the busier parts of the city. It makes sense. You are in a tangle of streets that are meant to be off the beaten path and to have more discretion with your acquisition and assistance of these wayward souls. Shades do sometimes lurk in these places. They aren't full blown curses, but they could eventually become them. Violence is an option here if you wish to purify this place, but you know that it can be dangerous. Most of the times, you
Yeah,
can ignore them.
I'm. I don't want to get myself into unnecessary trouble right now. If it becomes an issue, it won't be mine. I'm far away from here.
All right. I get a check from you. We're going to roll for a will save.
Will save. Okay. Uh oh, my will is not great.
What is your
That
will?
is it's so bad. I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5.
Oh
Is
no, I rolled a 7 actually. So
okay.
that's better and I make it, right?
No.
So much better.
You turn quickly on your heel. You have no interest in staying here and entertaining these forgotten things, these things that are left meant to die alone. And just as you do, it reaches out. It almost seems to cut through space, cut through time, and you can feel the whisper of its fingers on your arm just as you begin to exit the alleyway. You look, you leave, and it stays
Okay,
behind, but it does touch you.
I definitely flinch, move, rip my arm away from the cold touch, and I do look behind me as I'm moving faster away.
You see that the shade is gone. It is no longer there. As you hurry away, that cold lingers where it touched your arm.
Damn shades. Hope we don't have to deal with any more of those things. Let's keep heading on.
Okay. As you take the scenic route, it does eventually lead you to the Luminarium. There, I'm going to switch to another player. Eeny, meeny, miny. Mandy, can you please describe your
Yes.
character for me?
Beatrix is a lithe, fairly tall individual, wearing mostly black clothing, hints of chainmail underneath, but over said armor is a robe that at first looks very dun and dim, but when it hits the light, you see chromatic patterns all over every aspect of their clothing. They wear sheer sleeves that cover up many black tattoos, thick inked tattoos all over their arms and hands, hints of it at the neck over the collar. And they're wearing what looks to be some kind of necklace made of crystals, all the way down to a clear quartz. And they have a staff strapped to their back, but upon closer inspection, you can see that at either end of the staff, rather than a crystalline focus or a piece of nature, they're blades. And inscribed in the metal is runes all up and down the shaft of the blade. It's a little bit taller than they are. And they are moving with purpose through the streets because they have been summoned. And it is their duty to serve the seekers.
You are leaving behind things that are familiar to you as you cross one of these paper thin streets that cuts across the chasm itself. There's almost this imperceptible calling, this deep groan of the earth, something down there, something hungry, something waiting. But it is so far away that you know it's not a real threat. More of the idea of it that is a threat. This perfectly dark chasm. Anything could be there. It's been there before the city, before any of the people that found their way to the city shard established a place that they could call home. It's ancient. Still, despite the number of times you've crossed over it, it leaves a chill in your bones. As you're making your way past it, weaving through a sea of color that is everyone else in their own scarves and cloth and dyed hues, you approach the plaza of cracked mosaics. You see that the ground is littered almost like flowers with different colors of glass, kaleidoscope, so to speak. This place has been built to catch light wherever it can and to cascade it back. You see colors dancing prettily off of the glass buildings, various sculptures here of polished silver. Let's get a roll from you.
Ooh, okay.
I would like a perception check. We'll start with a perception check. Please tell me what your modifier is and what you roll.
My modifier for perception is a +7.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 3 on the die, so a solid 10.
Okay. What happens next startles you. You don't expect it. You don't see it coming. It does slowly crack and bend and twist into reality near you, but you don't see its birth. You don't see its genesis. It simply is there and you notice it. In the corner of your eye, what is drawing your attention is a scrawl of script, runes, almost as if taking lightning and creating it in thin air, begins to scrawl in front of you. You can see that they are cryptic and deeply magical. Let's
Am
get,
I
what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I able to read these runes?
Let's
Are
do
they
a quick
familiar to me?
roll here. Uh,
Yes.
let's get let's get a realms check. This is a knowledge check.
I love a realms check. I have a +12 to that.
Oh yeah. Target number's 15. I think you're gonna get
Uh,
this.
10 on the die, +12, so 22.
Okay, perfect. As you behold this, it is quite clear to you that this is a message coming through from another place, another time. It's a cryptic
Mm,
fragment of prophecy. You can read in an ancient language that you haven't heard spoken in a long time. It says, "The toll is not hers, but yours." You can sense that the words are trying to sink into your memory like hooks. Blue light is almost blinding. You're able to shake it off. You see a vision, these words. A woman wrapped in a soft lavender shroud, bearing the symbol of the Seekers. And then it's gone.
I see this vision and I think it makes my eyes light up when that takes over my mind. And as it fades, whoever is witnessing this around me, if anyone, uh, I immediately do what I can to commit that to memory so that I may report it
Okay.
to either my fellow battle mages or to the seekers.
I'll say that if you want to cast a spell here, you do have
Ooh.
the ability to invoke Azure magic, the magic of illusions,
Mm,
dreams, time, and memory. And you will be
okay.
able to literally recreate the illusion, essentially creating a sort of like hologram representation of it if you want to share
Mm,
it. But it will
yeah.
require some magic to commit it to memory.
Okay.
So let's say that this is going to cost you 10 points from your arcane reservoir.
Okay.
You will be able to essentially evoke it as often as you like, whenever you like.
10 points. Got it.
What does this look like as you cast this spell to commit it to memory so you can essentially replay it?
I uh I think what I do is, in order to awaken my mind and focus myself, I reach back to the tip of the staff, the runic staff, and I cut my palm on the blade. And as the blood runs down my hand to my arm, it touches my tattoos and they light up all over my body until it reaches my third eye. And that is how I commit it to memory.
Okay. In the aftermath of your spell, Your tattoos have this soft blue hue and it begins to recede, fading into dimness and dun. You find yourself standing in this plaza. Sound returns as your focus unfocuses. Where would you like to go?
I am making sure to get away from the rift and towards the Seeker's headquarters. So I'm cutting through whatever the quickest route is. I'm not dallying on my journey any further, if I
Okay.
can help it.
Excellent. We move the camera over. Dan, can you please describe what your character looks like?
Yeah, so Lath, a bit unassuming in the sense of size, build, kind of looks like someone who would be hiding behind trees because that is exactly what he would normally do. He being from the great forest of Bayona. Uh, he hates everything that has to do with this concrete jungle here. And as a result, you'd normally find him on a roof, trying to keep a roof garden going. Uh, Features tend to be a little more hidden because he does not want to be noticed. He would be what is called a hunter out there. And the whole point is not to be seen because beasts and all sorts of nasty creatures out in that forest, including the forest itself. The biggest thing would be his very piercing brown eyes and just a little bit of what you could assume to be wiry strength. Someone who doesn't look like they're built, but rather they've toned over years and years and years of running and jumping and climbing, while he's wearing a cloak, a mask to kind of hide his mouth, as well as what looks like a scarf of pretty stark red compared to a lot of the dark coloring that he has.
As you are perched on one of these said buildings, you look around. Let me get a perception check from you. Please tell me what your
Yeah.
modifier is.
Yes, my perception modifier is 13.
Okay.
And I rolled a 3, so 16.
Okay, 16. Very good. You look over the city that opens up below you. You see in the distance is a silver replication of the glass saint. You see that the statue that represents the iridescent that reigns over Valais, the city shard. It has a domineering sort of presence. People here are very likely to find comfort in the image of this titan, this monstrously large and powerful creature that could protect them from all of the curses and the dark magics that exist in the star field. Something about it has always been unsettling for you. It's just a little too convenient. People are a little too compliant. Even especially because you do not wish to walk among them in this concrete jungle, so to speak. Keep your distance and you watch them. People moving about, all cogs and machines that move. You can kind of see through the lines. Balance of everything here is delicate. Power struggles are put into place, maintain some semblance of order, but a lot of it is fake. This place is hollow. It might be full of people. The closest thing that you've found to purpose is with the Seekers. And it's like a homing beacon in the distance. You can see the luminarium. It appears to be almost like a cathedral made out of crystal, far off. And you know that there has been a summon. You are being asked to go there. What were you looking for here, now, as you hesitated?
Well, at least with the garden, I have been getting some herbs together, just for basic field medicine, for stimulants, staying up late if we need to be awake for long periods of time, if it's either being pursued or need to watch over things. So I've been kind of very delicately slicing some of these herbs and putting them in a pouch with what looks like a very thin bladed machete. And after I've probably taken more time than I need to, like taking every other stalk to make sure that it regrows well amongst all these various different, very fragrant herbs. So anyone living in this building probably really enjoys being near the top. As I've taken over, and there's probably just a little tent off on the side, because might as well. Got to leave quickly if I need to. So after grabbing those, then I start making my way down to the street, just because I think I've gotten in trouble too many times going rooftop to rooftop, and slowly try to make my way through the crowd as best I can, not bumping into anybody.
Green is a special color. Green is a
Green and
mundane color.
yeah, amber because of the devouring flame, but green because everything forestry and
Hmm.
alive.
You know that most plants that bear fruit is usually amber. The flowers are amber. Amber is a color of magic. It generally symbolizes creation, destruction, and possibility. Most of the magic in this world that has anything to do with healing, restoration, fire, destruction, all of it is in sync. All of it is part of the same tapestry, and all of it is amber. But green is a color that does not possess magic. But even so, green here in Valais is extremely rare. Those that live near you, those that know of your garden, they keep it secret. It is something that they covet, especially because they don't understand it the way that you do. It has given you a measure of respect and quite a bit of privacy. People give you the space that you need. As you move through the crowd, the smell of your garden does stick with you. And it's enough to make people turn and they glance, but they don't realize what they're looking for. You look like them. You don't really particularly stick out. They smell it. Smell of something foreign, of something special and unique, something of the earth. It's enough to rouse their suspicion, rouse their attention. They can't pinpoint it. As you move through the crowd, you hear a single voice. It cracks over the din of people shuffling, and you hear, possibility, possibility for a price. And you can see that there is an old man next to a vendor, and he's waving around at amber, a distinct, striking orange color. It moves through the air. You could recognize almost immediately that this is a relic from Bayona without even seeing the details of it. It is a minor magical item. Possibility for a price.
These definitely shouldn't have that in the first place. That shouldn't have even left Bayona. So the fact that it's here is pretty blasphemous, and I'm not keen on that.
Mhm.
So I absolutely will walk up and just kind of pay attention to see who's around the crowd, who's around this old man. Try to get a gauge on this old man. Did it seem like he procured it himself, or got it from a traveler or a trader? Because most hunters from Bayona would never do this. So him getting
No.
it is pretty bizarre.
Yes, he sticks out. You can tell from the way that he presents himself, he's not an adventurer. He's certainly not a seeker. You've never seen him before. It is just an old man with an old cart, bearing something powerful that he shouldn't have. Let's get a check from you. You can try to sense motive here if you like, or you can, let's see, you can use arcane theory if you want to focus more on the relic itself, since motive would be on the man. Or you can literally try whatever else you want to do.
I'd love to sense motive, and from there we'll decide whether or not I actually just try to take it without him realizing.
Okay, perfect. All right. So sense motive will draw from either charisma or wisdom, and your character sheet should calculate whichever one's higher. So what's your modifier?
Yes. 13.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20.
And that is a flat 10, so 23.
Hey, you sense motive as you're looking at this man. It kind of clicks all the pieces together, and you realize you probably stole it from someone or someone gave it to him. There's also an extremely high chance that it's a fake. But because you are from Bayona and you look at it, you realize the last option is not true. This is real. This is a real relic, and it can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to take that directly from him by, well, stealth would be the ideal, but potentially a distraction, so at least he points his misdirect and then take before he realizes it's gone.
Okay. So there's a couple of different options we can do with this. Stealth is more for trying to hide yourself, or
Yes.
like more sleight of hand things, it would be dexterity. If you'd like
Aha.
to just literally try to pickpocket this guy from this thing that's in his hand, I'll need a dexterity check.
Yes, that is just fine.
What is your
And
modifier?
yes, that is 15.
Ooh.
And I'm really quickly going to check because I think I have an ability for this called Cunning Misdirection. And I want to see if that has anything that helps this.
As you're looking that up,
Ah,
the area around you, no one else seems to be paying much attention to him. They just keep moving along, even though this man is waving a magical thing in the air.
hmm.
You don't seem to
Yeah,
realize.
I'll just stick to dexterity. This is the one's for concealment, so
Okay.
that is not as necessary. So that is plus 15. And that is a roll of a 2, so 17.
Okay. Perfect. It's still good. Target was 15, which you couldn't have
Okay.
failed at all.
Okay then.
um, you take an opportunity where you wait. There's an individual who's a bit more burly and is carrying something unwieldy, and as they're passing by, it's the perfect distraction. You take this as a moment shadowing this person and bump into the vendor, and you take the relic from their hand. They wheel around and they look straight at this individual who's carrying this big, heavy piece of wood. And he goes, "You there, how dare you? You I am." And essentially, you see that the two of them devolve into an argument and conflict as you are able to slip away with this artifact. Do you wear gloves? Are you holding this? Okay,
I usually have
fingerless.
a glove
Is it fingerless?
specifically for. It is fingerless, yeah, but I do have one normally for the machete's grip.
Okay.
But it is
Uh,
fingerless, so if I grabbed with fingers, I absolutely touched it.
okay. So, as you have this relic in your hand, you feel heat emanating from it. And the heat, it's not unbearable. It almost seems to radiate a sort of warmth that is familiar to your fingertips that are bared against it. It feels like a fistful of crystal. You know that if you squeeze it hard enough, that it will crack. It's more like
Hmm.
glass. You can add an item to your inventory and call it an ember. I'm just going to tell you what it does right now because that's one less thing I have to worry about. So
Fair.
essentially, you can crack the ember in your hand and you'll turn into dust one time, and you can add a 1d4 to any roll that you want.
Before rolling, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so you stow that away carefully and you make your way towards the Luminarium.
That I do.
Brandon, where do we find your character? What does your character look like?
Yes. All right. I believe we find Bishop Barrelmore in their church. It's a gray stone church. The only light peeking through is through the purple stained glass that is covering the pews that are now more half empty than ever. We find Bishop Barrymore, a elderly Eastern Asian man, probably was over 6 foot in their heyday, but now is probably more 5'9". Their white hair is thinned. Their eyes are kind. Their face and jowls are sagging with time. A look on their face of always "I'm sorry," and they are uh behind the altar speaking to this crowd, and they say, "And well, I would like to leave you all with this. Though our city and world may be cruel, there are individuals looking to make things harder on us. A lot of talk has been around the city of Valais about living curses, and I will assure you that that is poppycock. There is nothing we need to worry about with living curses. Our glass saint looks from upon high to keep our city safe. You do not need to worry in this world of toil about these made up constructions."
I love it. Okay, let's get a roll here. As you speak to these people, let's get a knowledge religion check from you.
Okay. That's gonna be a +7. Ooh, a 19 +7, that's a 26.
Okay. You find that the crowd that beseeches you are moved by your words. There are fervent nods. You hear mutters of approval and affirmation, and a few people even stand up, swayed by your words. And you can see that you are influential. You are heard. How does Bishop feel about this?
I This is a practice, ceremony here in the church. Bishop Barrymore is not new to speaking the words that their parishioners need to hear. Bishop Barrymore does not skip a beat and immediately goes into, "And if you have any coin or glass that you may want to bestow upon our beloved glass saint, shining her purple eminence down upon us, please, please give in these times of turmoil. And if you do not find any coin in your pockets, well, may the glass saint bless you with more riches than you've had in this one in your next."
You find that the turnout to be quite bountiful. People move and shuffle over towards you, and again, they share those words of appreciation as coin and glass tinkle as they drop down into your bowl, your collection.
"Yes, it's my bowl."
You find that there's a moderate amount there, a hefty sum. The gathered material alone could easily buy you something of vanity here in Valais if you wanted. Could feed several families for a week. It is generous. You have satisfied something that these people need, and in return, they have given back. Slowly, the people begin to leave. You are alone. When Bishop is alone, what does he do? How does he feel?
His face of empathy sags even more, and the tired expression of living in a world that not does not give you anything back weighs upon him. He shrinks a few more inches. Um, he quickly, as the last people leaves, locks the church and pours takes a few of the the few of the money, the gold pieces and the glass, and puts it in a small satchel for himself, which is he's done throughout his time here. Um, Knowing that any show of, wealth or him having anything would this ruse of this church would be over. And so he stores the rest of the money in a secret compartment in the small back office that is also where Bishop Barrymore sleeps. And he's been standing for an hour, and so his bones are tired. So he takes a seat, moves a chair into the purple light that is still caressing down in this church, and just looks through the stained glass.
As you are, you remember what you know of living curses. They are sometimes creatures, sometimes ideas made manifest. Living curses are color eaters, entities that drain hue from the star fields and leave gray ruin in their wake. History has not been kind to those that ignore the dangers of a world where losing color means losing life. The Seekers, which you have only recently begun to entangle with, you know that they have long memories when it comes to curses. You've heard rumor about how long and how old those memories are. As you are resting here, I'm going to need a check from you. Let's get a perception check.
That's a 9 minus 2. That's a 7.
Okay. You don't see the accumulation of it. You don't see where it comes from or the buildup. But instead, you hear a sudden crack. You realize as you're looking around that the lavender pane of glass you were looking at, main featured window here in this church, there is a devastating crack in it. There's a toll, sound of a bell. Your eyes begin to blur, and a sensation of grief begins to wash over you. Can I please get a will save from you?
That is a 7 plus 6, a 13.
Okay. Fortunately, that's a failure.
Fortunately, yeah.
That ring of that singular bell echoes in a lingering way. You almost seem to feel it in your bones, this feeling of grief. But you're intensely aware that it's not yours. You don't know where it comes from or what it's for. It is a type of bone deep sadness that you think will follow you for the rest of the day until you forget about it. The consequence here is going to be that your first roll in the luminarium is going to carry misfortune. So please remember that
Yes. Okay.
as you are distracted by this strange sort of grief. What do you want to do next? You know that you are expected at the luminarium.
Yes, I think in this moment of this, you know, I I I think the church falling apart is a normal occurrence. Um, the feeling of grief, although this is different, is normal for Bishop Barrymore. I think just they take another few minutes mostly because they have to, because they know of the walk that they need to take to the luminarium. And after those few minutes are over, um, he will walk back into their office and grab it's this purple glass dagger. It's shards like someone was chiseling this out of glass and not cutting it. It's jagged. It is beautiful. He takes it out, looks through it just for a second. And as he's looking through it, he sees um the bowl of money that they just made. Um Grabs a little bit more of a handful, puts in their pocket, and will go um probably will go find like the glass worker here in their district, maybe someone who's part of the church, and to let them know that the church needs some fixing, give them some money, and will make their way to the luminarium.
From the descriptions that everyone gave me, I'm going to assign an order that you all arrive. Beatrix is going to be first. Then we're going to have Stitches, then Lath, and then the Bishop. So, we open the scene at the Luminarium. Amidst a city of gray, it is a cathedral of color. It is mostly made and comprised of a rich crystal that you know came from a different place. It was built into this world. There are many windows that open up the luminarium, and walls are made of cracked stained glass that reflect light. There's very little darkness in the luminarium. It is an installation of art. It is an accumulation of color. It pools there. It draws it there. And it is here that the seekers call home. Beatrix, you are in the Compass Hall, which is a large circular rotunda, a room, a chamber meant for orientation. You are standing there next to Keeper Dela, who is an aged seeker you know to essentially be responsible to give you the next mission, your orders and tasks that you must complete as a seeker. There is a large star map, a mosaic of various bits of gray and black stone on the floor. There are beams of light that come through the ceiling through crystalline lenses that can be shifted to point at particular areas on this star map beneath your feet. There are shifting patterns of blue, red, purple, and orange that move across the walls. It is a sea of color, almost as if you were underwater. And Keeper Dela is patient, is quiet. You see that her body is wrapped in azure robes, and she holds her elbow carefully. The end of that elbow moves into a left hand made out of shimmering glass, evidence of her experience and what this starfields have taken from her. Two of you are waiting and waiting and waiting.
Uh, once I arrive though, I do address her, and I will bow my head respectfully. Keeper.
Beatrix, it is good to see you. I, however, am less enthused that your party keeps their habit of being little less on time than you.
I can certainly have a talk with them again if required, Keeper.
No. He talks with a deep gravel, a weariness that betrays centuries of loss. He speaks slowly and carefully. No, that's not necessary. We have time. We can find it
Yeah.
if we don't.
As you wish. As we're standing and waiting in what probably turns into a comfortable, respectful silence because
Mhm.
I'm a battle mage, it's not my job to be chatty. I will very intently look at the star map. Is it showing anything in particular as of yet, or is it ever shifting currently?
It's ever shifting. It's
Okay.
akin to when you have like a presentation board and if you want to point at a specific point with a laser pointer,
Mhm.
like you could focus it in onto different parts. The star map
Understand.
is a an artistic rendition of the star fields. So you can see some of the larger bits of glass that are set into the ground. One represents Valais, one represents Bayona, and the
Mhm.
other large shards that make up the area. And then there are small pinpoints of different areas where shards, wild shards, can be found. Right now, not a single one of them is particularly in focus. So the
Okay.
lights of the room just sort of move around in a miasma.
Is there anything else different about the room compared to what I typically see here?
No. If there's any information that Dayla wants to give you, she's holding on to it until everyone gets
Mhm.
here.
I will stand and think about my vision because I am also holding that until the party has gathered.
Okay. Witches is the first to arrive. What does your arrival look like?
Um, I think you hear stitches before you see them. Um, behind the door as they're approaching this, go. I really hope they have some food in there because I'm starving. God, and then they shove the door open and walk in. Sorry I'm late. Keeper, Beatrix. Is there any food? Anything I could munch on? Nothing? Okay. Oh, I'm
Is
starving.
Stitches
Where's everyone
someone
else?
known for an appetite? Are you food
Um,
motivated?
I think I'm me motivated. So anything that makes me feel happy and good
Mhm.
is a good way to motivate me. So I think food, anything that's a benefit to me motivates me. So I think food would definitely be one of them.
I think I would
Um,
definitely have something on me then. Probably like a field ration, but I'm not going to tell you that's what it is. I'll just toss like a little cloth wrapped item to you.
oh,
Here, you can
thank
have
you.
this.
And wrap and just kind of stare at it.
Yep,
Uh,
it's just a basic field ration. It's not yummy.
I guess good enough. It was like bite into it. I really didn't describe my character.
Perfect time to
Stitches.
describe your character
Yeah.
as you're just chowing down.
As they kind of just sit on the ground. I imagine this seats and stuff, but he just sits on the ground, legs crossed, elbow on the knee as they're biting into this stealth build ration. You see a like average build, maybe a 5'8", 5'9", black man with a almost pallid tone to their skin, almost like purplish, like they're looking at someone who's undead or doesn't have as much blood running through their veins as they really should. They have piercing golden eyes, entirely bold, wearing mostly black with like armor, mismatched black leather armor on them that you know for sure. I think Beatrice probably has witnessed them kill some bits of leather armor from people that they've just so happened to find dead and added to their look. Um
Happen to find
and
dead.
they're just unlucky or lucky like that.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Press X to doubt.
um, they have like right now I think like a very scruffy beard. They probably haven't like they try to keep clean shaven, but usually aren't able to because they're usually on the run or just moving from place to place, never really staying in one location for very long. Um, and yeah, they just sat on the ground, legs crossed, chowing down on this field ration. Where's everyone else?
Late as per usual, Stitches.
Okay, I thought usually I'm the latest of them all. Okay, playing here. I guess I won't be getting the most flack, right, keeper? I look over to the keeper.
Dayla looks at you. Her expression hasn't changed even a fraction since you entered. Yes, right.
As emotive as ever, keeper.
Someone has to be. I think it's about then that Lath arrives.
Ah, you're already here. Good. Why are you looking at me like, is that something on me? Do I-
Do you have foods? Anything better than this?
Better than field rations? No, you know I only have those.
Uh,
I could. Do you want some sage or
fine. It's
parsley?
nah. I'm
Lath,
craving meat.
as Stitches is
Hmm.
like waving around the food, Stitches happens to be using the arm that got touched by the shade earlier. And you see on Stitches' elbow that a part of their clothes, it looks like as if someone's taken gray dye and it's desaturated the clothes. Even if he's wearing black, it's as if like gray has been introduced. There's a splotch of missing color.
Have I seen that before?
Ooh, let's get a roll here.
Mm.
Okay, let's do arcane theory.
Oh boy, that's a +6.
Ooh, decent.
But I rolled a natural 20, so 26.
Okay, all right. Great. You instantly recognize this as desaturation. It is a thing that happens with curses and sometimes particularly nasty shades. Living curses, they want color, they drain color. It is a literal sucking of it, a literal consumption of it. And it seems that very recently, because Bitch's color has not returned to their elbow, you must have brushed up against someone. You came into contact with somebody.
Hmm. Stitches,
Yeah.
did you know that you're just a little cursed?
Uh, uh yeah.
For comedic effect, it's on the part of the elbow that you can't see. Like you can't lick your
What,
you know.
what do you mean? I don't see it. What do you
You
I
feel the
think
coldness and you remember that
yeah.
that was where the shade touched you.
I don't see it, but I did yeah, I did come across a shade on the way here.
Why did you touch that?
I didn't. I walked away.
Well, the curse does say otherwise, but all right.
Yeah, I think it reached out and touched me.
Well,
Well,
shouldn't be too much of a problem. It should return and restore itself in time. Do be
oh,
careful though.
Yeah,
I'll-
I know.
It is
He's got a
about
shirt.
then. Yeah, your shirt is ruined. It's definitely gonna be gray forever right there. This is when Bishop arrives. The Bishop.
Ah, well, it looks like I'm just on time. Keeper Dela, Beatrix, Stitches, Lath, how are you doing this fine day?
Do you
well
have
enough.
food?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, no.
Sorry, mm, think Bishop Barrymore kind of um walks like towards the middle, and you guys see that they're wearing like a very like dulled purple robe. Their garb that they're um typically in. They kind of hug it a little bit closer to them. Go, well, well, Dayla, have you briefed the others in my absence, or have you been waiting on me?
We may begin now.
Hmm.
And you see Dela moving across the compass room and stands near the center here. Turns to address all of you. I'm afraid that there will be no veils for you to walk today. Your next task is to a new curse that has taken form somewhere here within Valet's depth. People whisper of cooling bells when there are none to be rung.
Ah,
This
who? Uh,
Eh?
wait,
Uh,
sorry. That happened to me, today.
oh, curious. Where did it
Uh,
happen?
it was, of course, in my church. After the sermon this morning, it, broke a pane of glass, and now the church has to fix it. Hmm.
Did you see a woman?
Oh, no, no woman. Nope.
A creature?
Uh, hmm, none besides myself.
Well then. People speak of such a thing resembled by a humanoid shape. Some say that they saw crystalline ribs. Whatever it is, we suspect that it is a newborn, meaning it is fragile, but ravenous all the less. It must be contained as soon as possible. We name her the Bell Wife. Descend into the catacombs. See what the old faces have to say about her. Their memories are long. Perhaps they will recognize her sound. Before you go, stop by the key keeper, just in case.
As you wish, Keeper Dela. Before we do, though, I do have some information to share.
You may proceed.
I will invoke. I will evoke the vision that I had earlier, and show these images to the party.
What does it look like as you conjure this mirage, so to speak?
I think when I'm not using my staff, magic moves through my tattoos into my hands, and it pulls through the aether like smoke into my hands, smoke and fire and sparks. And as I do the smoke, I shape it with my hands, and it forms into the vision that shows everybody in the middle of the room. And I will recount the images itself, and I will also recreate the runes. It says, "The toll is not hers, but yours." The implications of bells seems clear here, given what you have just said.
Strange. So does that mean Bishop is going to die, or
Uh, hey,
It could merely
Eventually, but
be a cursed threat.
the runes you showed, is that, and does that toll have any double meaning? Would it be just toll as in bells or toll as in a fee?
The translation is unclear.
Could be a cost then.
Whatever it is your task to ensure that the Bell Wife does not represent a threat. If it does become a true curse, a living curse, see to it that it is dispatched.
Very well.
Stay
It
in
will
the
be
light.
destroyed.
And she begins to slowly shuffle away, leaving the four of you alone in the compass room.
so are we worried about you, Bishop, or do you think you're safe?
hmm. Well, Stitches, I've been through a lot over my years, and a little baby curse is not going to destroy the old bishop.
I I agree. And as I'm saying this, I'm looking the Bishop up and down for any jewelry they may be wearing. Yes,
I,
you are
I
definitely going to survive.
I think you hear some just like the moves of the robe just I think nobody else hears it, but Stitches is tuned in to any clinking. You hear just the faintest of clinking of some coins and glass in their pocket.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're definitely going to survive. I'll stick near you just in case. Uh, but I do believe that you'll be fine. You'll be
S-
fine.
Stitches, ever since I've met you, I've thought it could do you well coming around to the church once in a while. Have you thought more about that?
I've thought about it. I've definitely thought about it. I've just been very busy as of late, and I think I'm still going to be busy for a while. But once I'm not busy, I'll be sure to stop by. When do you take your tithes?
Oh, well, Stitches, we take our tithes, sermon every morning, any time as the sun begins to crest into the sky, you may make your way over to the church.
I'll be sure to come over sometime in the morning once I'm more free. Thank
I
you,
think
Bishop, for being so welcoming.
I think everyone else sees their face just like sink and like the sadness just washes over the bishop and he turns to the other two and looks to Beatrix and goes, "I'm sorry, that seems like a dreadful thing to see in the morning, Beatrix. I'm sorry you had to take that on."
Visions are not new to me, Father Bishop. Although I am confident that the glass saint will protect you.
Mm.
Bishop is about to say the exact same thing he said to Stitches to Beatrix about coming to the church, but
Oh, I
holds
come to
his
the church already.
Oh, okay, okay.
Not
Um,
regularly,
yeah,
as frequently as their battle mage training allows.
okay, yeah. Um, so I think Bishop will go, "Yes, very well. We all have burdens to bear, Beatrix, and you have a heavy load. Laith, how
And
are you?"
so,
Um, fine. I
Good,
was
good.
just about to
Right.
suggest we go
Yes.
down to the
Right.
catacombs before
Yes.
any invitations happen to occur.
Well, of course.
Looking incredibly directly away from the bishop before he gets invited to church.
You do
We pointed.
remember, yeah. She did say to stop by the key keeper.
Ah, yes.
But so I think Stitches, maybe you're the one who brings it up.
I mean, if you want to go to the catacombs, that's fine by me. But people said we should stop by the key the room of keys. I assume is where we can find them.
Ah, right. I suppose catacombs after, and we could look and see if there's any information or folklore.
You navigate the ancient halls of the Luminarium and you approach a long, narrow hall where there are numerous alcoves and shelves set upon it. You see that ornate chests decorate this area. It is one of luxury and safekeeping, and moving amongst them is a figure. A tall, cloaked entity draped in layers and layers of robes of muted amethyst and gray. Your face is hidden behind a mask of fractured glass. You can see that mask shifts between hues, faintly glowing. You see these long, inhuman arms extend out from underneath the robes. These spindly, too long fingers are ink stained from centuries of recording anchors and coordinates. Though you've never seen the key keeper touch the artifacts directly. This thing is clearly not human, but it belongs to the Luminarium. And the keeper of keys has always been a friend. What lines the walls here are anchors. You know these to be exceptionally important whenever you go through a veil or a portal that moves between different shards. Keeper of Keys distributes these anchors to you. It is an item of power that allows you to stabilize these veils. Sometimes, without them, if you go through a veil, you end up in a place you did not expect. But if you have the appropriate anchor, you can force a veil to stabilize and ensure that you are going to go where you want to. You've never heard the Keykeeper talk. They always communicate in grunts and low groaning. They listen. They're very good at listening. As you approach, you hear a
My day's been pretty good. How have you been? Tell me about it. I don't think Stitches has no idea what they're saying, and they never do, but they always talk as if they're having a full conversation.
I never understand how you understand the Keykeeper, but I'm always
It's
impressed.
it's honestly really easy. You just really need to understand who they are as a person, and you're able to really intuit what they're saying. Isn't that right,
Right.
Kiki?
I
See?
love that the captions changed Keykeeper into Kiki.
Kiki. I
Kiki.
gave it the nickname Kiki, and apparently he just picks up Kiki. I love that.
Oh, that's funny. You see
I
this
love it.
faceless head covered by a mask just turn and kind of scan over each and one of you. Kind of the question hovers in the air, unspoken. What do you need? Why are you here?
And I'll turn to, I think, Beatrix. Didn't
We require anchors, however. We should be staying on the shard, ideally.
so this is more of a
Just in
precaution
case.
thing.
Mm. You see that the keeper turns towards a central alcove and reaches for a number of items. They don't touch the anchors. Instead, their spindly fingers, almost spider like, hover above them, and it slowly begins to move these, levitating them out of the alcove and in front of the four of you. There are 4 anchors. Each one of them eyes. One's blue, one's orange, one's red, and one's purple.
I will try going and grab the red one.
Okay. You grab a rune carved shard of red stone. It pulses in your hand, warm like a heartbeat.
Hmm. How big is it? Is it like
It's small, it's just like a
this?
pebble.
Small? Like a pebble, okay. Might as well keep the running theme going because I take the red one and look at it.
Oh, I take the orange one. Orange amber. More amber or more orange?
More amber.
Ah, I take that one.
Okay.
I will take the azure anchor.
Okay. You see, Lath, as you reach out, it appears to be a small coal piece of amber light, warm in your hand, and it glows faintly. Glow is subdued if you put it into something, but if you're holding it in your hand, it actually acts as a small torch.
Hmm.
For Beatrix, you get a glass prism that has shifting script glowing across it in a faint blue. When it touches your hand, you can hear a soft murmuring coming from it.
How comforting. The Keykeeper is the best NPC. I'm calling it now.
And then the last one, unbidden, slowly floats over to the bishop, appropriately lavender in color.
The bishop takes out like a handkerchief from their robe and uses that to grab onto the key. And we'll
But
put
this
it into their
one is
pocket.
shaped like a fractured bell made out of glass, so it's not made out of metal. And it doesn't have a tapper, which is the little thing that hangs inside of it. is absent and it is silent.
Guess before I put it in, I'll notice that it looks like a bell. And I'll look at the others because I know the keykeeper isn't much for conversation. I'll look at the others and say, well, it looks like Kiki knows a bit about what we're about to do. And we'll put it in their pocket.
I don't know. I think it fits you, honestly, Kiki.
The keykeeper just sort of stands there, maybe saying goodbye, maybe wishing you well, but nevertheless remains and waits and listens.
I think they want us to leave now.
Beatrix is already heading out the door.
Oh,
Like,
Beatrix.
okay, my business is done. Goodbye.
The catacombs in which Dela spoke of, you are somewhat familiar with, but none of you have ever been there before. It resides in the gray underbelly of the Luminarium. You know it to be a labyrinth of stone passages and burial vaults where this dead seekers are interred. Each is not remembered by a tombstone or a sarcophagus, however, but instead with masks mounted on the walls, and fragments of pigment are embedded within them. Sometimes they hum faintly with the color of their former lives. It is quite easy for you to get into the catacombs. You simply need to take a long and lonely set of stairs down into Valais. You know it will be dark.
Well, I take out my Ember of Return to cast some light around us.
Will emit a soft amber hue to move. You want to lead?
Yes, that's just fine by me.
Laith, you navigate to the stairs and in the front of the march here, lead the procession downwards. Catacombs melt into view, and the atmosphere is oppressive. The walls here are made of faded gray stone and are punctuated by unsettling flashes of color. Masks all around you, left and right, in these long stretches of hallway. You see a mask suddenly gleam crimson and then grow dim. Further down, one glows with azure light, then is swallowed into darkness. This place, although nothing is actually moving, doesn't seem to stay still. You can tell that the dead are not entirely gone. There are murmurs of memories, voices breaking and echoing through like static. As you are catching glimpses and bits and pieces of what they have to say, you realize very quickly as a group that the magic here is fickle. Some of the stuff that they're saying is helpful, some of it is hostile. You get the sense that even in death, some grudges have outlasted it. How do you all respond and react to a place like this?
It's awful.
Go ahead, Stitches.
Stitches has like a unnerving smile almost plastered to their face the entire time. Every time we hear a whisper, whether it's threatening or helpful, it kind of like regards the direction it came from with a small smile and continue without saying a word. They seem oddly comfortable with the almost hostility and air of threat that comes from walking through this space.
How about Laith?
Oh, he hates it here. It is basically the antithesis of what he loves and desires. There is no natural light. Caves and things are fine because that's more natural, but this place is crafted, created. It is only of death. And while destruction and creation are just fine, they are not destroyed nor created. They are in between, and it's unnatural and frankly blasphemous here. He really does not like ever coming down here.
Of Beatrix.
I think this is a place that Beatrix has walked multiple times in their time as a seeker. And they are simply used to it. It's a matter of neutrality, but also a bit of eagerness for the knowledge that is contained here. They enjoy coming here when feats of normal, mundane research fail. Memories persist.
And what of the bishop?
Oh, the bishop's sad face grows even sadder. I guess I am just walking my gaze on nothing forward. I don't look at any of the light or any of the faces.
Okay. Lath, you are still at the forefront. You see a path open up in front of you. You go left or do you go right? Age old question.
I was muted.
I was
And you
like,
can't see my
wow,
mouth you can't see my mouth moving, so there was no way to know.
I was like, dang,
Uh,
Dan is really thinking about this.
Left or right, left or right.
I was listening for any chimes of bells in a direction in particular.
All right, let's get a perception check from you.
All right, plus 13. And that is 4, so 17.
Okay. With a 17, you think you hear distant bells coming from the left path. What
All
we
right.
see as far as you making a decision here and choosing which way to go, what is the demeanor of your choice here?
Oh, I mean, the moment Leif is attempting to listen, decide a direction, crouches down and just pauses, and then looks left and right. And the moment hearing any of that of the chimes or the bells, stands up and just walks in that direction with purpose and confidence, despite hating here, because the sooner we get to take care of this, the sooner we leave.
Okay. As the group of you are moving, Beatrix, the first stretch of this corridor is completely gray. You are unfamiliar with this part of the catacomb. You can see that this place is completely drained of all pigment. The darkness here is not black. Darkness is gray, different shades of it. Sense of absence, emptiness. All of the masks that you see in this corridor are cracked, as if something has been taken from them. All of a sudden, you see one of them faintly glows crimson, then fades. I get an arcane theory check from you.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
absolutely. I
Yes,
love
thank you, not
arcane
me.
theory. I have a plus 12 to that.
So funny
Heck
is I
yeah.
have a
Let's
series of
go.
challenges and I randomly assign them. So this is just really lucky.
hmm
I got a total of 26.
Hey.
Oh, good. Okay, great. I'm really glad. Um okay. You discern that this corridor is a wound in reality now. It has been recently reshaped. This thundering of the masks is new, and it's transformed this part of the catacombs, likely by a curse. How is Beatrix able to perceive this and analyze this? What does this look like as you come to this conclusion?
I think even though we have some of the amber light, that probably fades away as we come down this corridor, and Beatrix has these pale blue eyes that glow in the dark, and that is how I can perceive the magic here, or I guess I should say the curse here. Um, it looks as though this place has been corrupted. So something I would like to do is utilize one of my Masonic pacts in maybe a little slightly not as written way.
Yeah.
I would like to color leech. And by that I mean take some of the grayscale and return it to color.
Ooh, okay, I love it. So, for my dear listeners, Masonic pacts are essentially something that you can do at character creation or as you were telling the story, so you don't have to do it all at once. They are essentially bargains with the devil, so to speak. They are customization options that you have where a player and a storyteller can come to a decision and agree on ways that you can bend the rules. So for Beatrix, we have come up with 3 different Masonic pacts, some of which you might discover in the story as they come up. This particular one, Beatrix is able to do something a little different. Can you describe to us what this pact is? Although we are going to tweak it a little bit for the narrative here.
This pact I have titled Color Leech. You have the ability to drain enemies, living curses, and convert that into magic to refill my arcane reservoir. So essentially, I'm taking the ink, which, black ink is the amalgamation of all color, and I'm converting it back to full color.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is you are going to be able to go back. Actually, since we're doing the reverse,
Mhm.
you can spend 10 points from your arcane reservoir here, take some
Okay.
of your color, your hue, and to deposit it into this space.
Okay.
And as
Uh,
you do that, can you describe to me what it looks like?
Absolutely. I will kind of hold up a hand to have the party pause and say, "This place has been desecrated. I will restore what I can." And I will kneel in the gray and place my hand onto the stone, the ground that we stand upon. And my eyes and my tattoos light up as I basically pump some of the color that I have into the ground around us to restore the color in this section, the section that we are seemingly destined to go down. Uh, and it becomes clear to the rest of the party this is something that Beatrix has done before and is also the reason why they look pretty sickly.
You had to choose one of the magical colors. What do you think the color of Beatrix's life would be right now?
I would say that the color of Beatrix's life force is almost primarily blue, but also chromatic in a way. It has little bits and pieces, essences of each shade of magic in it, which is not surprising considering they're an opaline battle mage.
Do you see
So
this pulse of
chromatic magic
color?
is, yeah.
It shifts in color. It's not a single
Mhm.
dominant color here.
Mhm.
As it emanates from Beatrix, you see that this life force, the color of you, begins to seep into the cracks that are in the walls, in the masks, and it fills them. And a soft light begins to permeate the area, shifting between the various hues that make up Beatrix. Part of them have been left here. It is a little less bleak and a little more hopeful. What is everyone else doing as Beatrix does this?
I've taken out some herbs and am arranging them around myself in what looks like a protective ward because he never appreciates any of this magic at all. It's not natural. Color should be grown, not created this way. Serves a
About
purpose though, so he tolerates
Mhm.
it just fine.
there's a smell of freshness that clings to you as you do this. Less dust, less death.
Much better.
of the bishop?
Oh, well, Lath walks quickly, and in my older years, the speed of my feet has not stayed with the speed of my mind. So I found a small stone, maybe a ledge to sit and catch my breath, and still not really looking at the space around me.
And what of Stitches?
I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm looking around, keeping an eye out for a potential shade or curse, especially with the threatening whispers and murmurs that have been coming from these masks. If a shade or a curse is developed down here, where memories of past seekers is stored, it could be particularly dangerous. So I am looking about, keeping wary, and have an eye on the exit.
Okay. Let me get a perception check from you.
Okay. I have a +7 to that. I rolled a 13, so 30/20.
Nice. Okay. As you look around, you realize the aftermath of Beatrix's spell, this pouring of color into this monochrome place. It has revitalized one of the masks nearby. You see it flickering violet in color. And it almost feels as if the voice that emanates from it whispers right into your ear, Stitches. I failed as you will fail. I drowned. Do you hear her bells yet?
I I'll walk up to this mask and get very close to it. Can I tell, is anything unique about this mask? Are all the masks the same, or is anything different about each of them?
The masks are all very unique. You can tell that each one was crafted carefully to represent the seeker that was tethered to it. This particular mask seems very old. The stone from which it's created is light gray, and it has these wide set eyes. You can see that there's a prominent nose and a weak chin. You see that there are high cheekbones and that there is silver filigree along the edges of it. It's impossible
Hmm.
to tell who this used to be, but it used to be a person. It used to be someone who was part of the Seekers.
Of my understanding of how the catacombs work, is it just like the last thoughts or memories, or is it a thing I can have a conversation with?
You can try to have a conversation with them. However, the magic is fickle, so it's not like having a phone call or a
Yeah,
direct connection.
yeah.
It's not like the Key Keeper where you can have a full conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. I'll kind of tilt my head to the side. So what did you face down here?
he calls. He drowned. I drowned. Do you hear her bells yet?
No. Let's hope it stays that way.
Can I get a wisdom saving check from you? Sorry, no. Will check from you.
Will? Okay. Yeah. Nat 20 for 21.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh no,
Excellent.
23.
Perfect. Okay. You realize that the entity here is just echoing itself. It's on repeat, and you aren't going to be able to get anything particularly helpful from it. You're able to shake it off. It tries to root something in you, and you're able to sense what it is through a moment of clarity. You can tell what it tried to do without it actually happening to you. It is trying to share with you emotion, emotion through agony. And the mask saw something, it felt something, it learned something. What it's trying to tell you in a way that feels very unpleasant is that the Bell Wife is rooted in failure. That is the source of her sorrow.
I think this almost they internalize that, they acknowledge that, but there's this the level of almost the nonchalant nature of Stitches melts away for a moment as they feel this thing reach into their mind. And I think they palm the mask, and I would like to crush it. I want
Oh,
to break the mask.
okay, okay. I love it. Okay, that's gonna be athletics
Perfect. I'm pretty good at that. I'm modifier
or
of plus 40.
dexterity. Dexterity would be
Nah,
like kind of like a more precise thing, where athletics is like,
yeah, I'm just brute forcing it. I think in this moment, the finesse that they usually have is kind of replaced with this kind of I don't want to say anger, but there's a
mhm,
level of, like, annoyed they feel at a thing, whether it's positive or negative, reaching into their head.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, that
What's
is
your athletics
a
modifier?
plus 14.
Oh, okay.
So that is a 30. I think it's a flat 30. No, 31.
Oh
That's
my
a
god.
31.
Okay, 31. Wonderful. What does it look like when you turn this mask into dust?
If anyone's watching, you see Stitches walk up to this mask, murmur something to it. I don't think they're speaking loud enough for anyone to hear in particular, but they're definitely not whispering. So if you want to listen in, you can. And you see their entire body tense up as this mask reaches out into their mind. And with a almost brutish, animalistic force, they slam their hand, open palm, into the mask's face. Everyone hears this. There's no subtlety to this. And they crunch,
Boom.
and you hear the crunch of stone as the mask shatters in their palm.
You pull your hand away, there's nothing but dust. It crumbles into pebbles onto the ground here. There's no magic. There's no explosion of anything. Just snuffing it out.
Is there a reason
Mm.
why you've decided to desecrate this place further? Was it corrupted?
Oh, um, no, I think you fixed it.
Well,
Bishop, can you
mm,
swim by any chance?
well, it's been quite some time since I've been in the water, but um, I'll do my best.
Well, the mask mentioned the bells drowning them, and she rings them having drowned as well. So I don't know, practice staying afloat, I suppose.
Yes, I do wonder in a world where the bells toll could mean the ringing or the payment for the bell, if the drowning of the bell could mean water, or if it could mean that the sound itself is being drowned out by the world.
I have no idea how to help with that specifically. So
Yes.
let's hope it's a swimming one.
Mm, yes.
With Beatrix's spell complete, there's no reason to linger.
Besides, I'm a little tired. My legs.
Do you
But
want to?
uh, no,
Do you
Lath seems like he's already leading on, so I.
Yes, do
Oh,
we need anything else here?
I'm looking around before I respond. I look around to see if there's any other masks blinking or activated here.
You can see that it's extremely faint. It's going to take some time for them to find people that they were tied to.
Hmm.
Signal is open, but it hasn't reached them yet.
It will take time for the masks to fully return here. We should move on. Bishop, do you require assistance?
oh no, I'm perfectly fine. Uh, lead on, Leith. Um,
Will do. Right, I'd like to get out of here. So I start making my way. As I pass by the bishop, though, I do hand him a salve of rosemary, turmeric, and willow bark to help those joints out, as they are
oh,
natural anti-inflammatories.
that. Thank you.
Mm.
How does Bishop respond to something that is made of the earth? Something natural like this, it doesn't come from just anywhere. Valet, especially, not a lot of things grow. It's a shard mostly of glass and stone. You know that this is from a different place. Or maybe something secret, something special.
I think the curiosity has faded from the bishop, and like he does with many things he doesn't understand, he thanks and shows appreciation, puts it in their pocket, and, well, let it gather dust as time moves forward.
And as the group of you continue further down another bend, another set of stairs, Bishop Barrowmore, you are doing your best to keep up and move along, your joints aching. And all of a sudden, beside you, a mask flares and a scream rips through the silence of the tunnel. You can see from its mouth as you whip around to behold it that there are several jagged shards of amethyst crystal coming out of it. You left me to die! Why should you fare better?
Does everyone else hear it as well?
The scream, yes. The words, no.
Hmm. I think the bishop holds a hand out very gently, a thing that they've done many times when tempers have flared in the church, to quiet everyone down, just to let everyone know that he's got this handled. And looks at the mask and goes, well, there's no need to raise your voice. Is there anything you need from us?
I need you to suffer.
Well, my child, we do. Every day that we wake in this mortal world, we suffer. And so that has already been done.
The next response that you get from it is just a string of incomprehensible screams. There's so much anger in this, bubbling with emotion, unrestrained. It is impossible for the other three to ignore anger, the frustration, the screaming. It is loud. You don't know why it's angry. You don't hear the conversation that Bishop has with it. But it's impossible to ignore it.
I
I
think yeah, go.
I don't make a move. I just look between the bishop, Lath, and Beatrix.
Yeah, I definitely put the amber away to subdue it, since I think this mask is putting off light as they've been doing that normally.
Amethyst, yeah.
And I hide in the shadows because I don't know what's going on in this particular case. I don't think we've experienced this direct anger from a mask before. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna not be seen. So you might see me for a minute there, Stitches, and then
Roll me stealth.
can do. It's a plus 18.
Oh,
Nice.
dang. Maybe you don't need to roll. No, roll anyway.
Well, I rolled a 5, so
Okay.
that is a 23.
Okay, good to know. Beatrix.
I hear the screaming. I see that nobody has been attacked at this very moment, but I am looking now for danger. Uh, is it possible to reach out with my etheric senses to see if there's danger here rather than with my eyes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's give it ooh, here. This is what we'll say. You want to cast a spell? Would you like to use some of your arcane reservoir to magically perceive something? Otherwise, I will say yes, you have to use your eyeballs.
Okay. You know what? It's early in, so I'm gonna use perception then instead.
Okay,
Save
sounds
the
good.
points just in case.
Absolutely.
I have a +7 to that. Okay, that is cocked. Let me try again. Okay. 22.
Okay. With a 22, you can see that there is no
Sorry, 21. That's my bad.
okay. 21, there is no imminent threat. You can tell that from the emotion bubbling from this mask that it's likely in a sort of death throw. It's probably actually much, very likely the highest chance that this has nothing to do with any of you. And
Mhm.
it's just a grudge. It is a seeker that something happened, something was left with without any resolution. And if you give a microphone to an angry person, they're going to scream into it.
I think as this realization or this piece of information bubbles back up to the surface of my mind, I will turn to them and go, "No need to fear or prepare yourself. It is simply the madness of the afterlife. It's not personal. If it was, they would address you by name."
Right. Not everyone can be helped. Let's move on.
Four of you continue down into the catacombs, leaving this screaming voice behind you. You're able to tell exactly how far and how deep you go, able to use that as a sort of marker. Lath, you are moving through darkness. You want to return your amber, glowing amber?
I think I'd probably hold it in a clasped hand. That way the light is muted rather than blazing.
You think that you're still at the front. You want someone else to take over.
Stitches, when I disappeared, how did you react to that? Did you decide to take lead after, or did you wait until I kind of reappeared?
Oh, I'm definitely not taking the lead. You've all were just Stitches.
I,
Even
I
though Stitches
figured.
physically has the capability to take lead, they never take the lead. They try to get as close to the back as possible.
Figured, but wanted to check just in case. And I assume Beatrix would probably also not willingly take the lead. Is it usually
If
Leith?
you
Leith?
I mean, if you lag behind, I think at this point Beatrix is getting impatient, wants to get to the destination. They're a very serious individual. you've rarely seen this person joke around. And they will take their staff off of their back and hold it so that it can light up, because it can't do that without them holding it, and light up the space with faint azure light.
Then
Come
I'll
on,
definitely let you
let's get
take the
this
lead.
over with.
Mm.
Okay. Beatrix, as you take the lead here, deeper into the catacombs, you start to hear the resounding sound of bells. It begins faintly at first, not one, but many, overlapping, like a choir of broken tones, and it builds on itself. The further you go, with every step. I need a perception check from you, please.
Okie dokie. Ooh, nice. That is 17 on the die. What was my bonus again? 7, so 24. Right? 24.
24. You notice the masks in this part of the catacombs, every single one of them, not all at once, but eventually all of them begin to cry. Tears of pigment begin to leak out of where they would have had eyes.
Oh, that's eerily familiar. I hate that.
What is
Does anybody
Beatrix?
else see this, or is it just me?
You were the first to notice. Eventually, I'm sure they will find it as well.
Are any of them glowing?
The
Or are
pigment
they
is
just...
glowing, but the masks themselves do not glow.
What is the closest color to me where I stand? I'm gonna stop.
The closest one that is next to you is going to be crimson. But all of them are different kaleidoscopes of color. Some of them are in between colors, some of them shift.
I'll walk to the closest mask.
This one is cast in a sort of reddish stone, almost like sandstone, something that you might find in a mesa. This one has an intricate design on it. It looks like thunderbolts of gold. They curl around the cheekbones, across the nose, and you get the sense that this mask must have belonged to someone who was a mage, someone who wielded great magical power. They are crying red.
I will reach out and very gingerly touch the forehead of this mask.
Is there anything that you are trying to will as you're doing this? Or is this just a gesture of comfort?
I think it's comfort, but also what is happening to you. I don't say it mentally, I say it out loud. What's happening to you?
It doesn't need to say anything. Because as you hear another toll of a bell, a singular, deep, drumming sound, you see another fresh set of tears roll down. Curse is close.
The curse is here. Or near. Right underneath our noses this whole time. And then I remember my vision. It's one of
Well,
ours.
um, let's find it.
Hmm.
I will not let it desecrate my brethren further.
That's the cheery attitude we need, Beatrix.
The sooner the better.
Let's
Well.
continue.
Beatrix, leading on, it is not much further. The corridor that you are presently in ends in a ring of unmade walls around a dirt chamber, as if something had cracked open the catacomb and made itself a den. The air is thick with damp, the taste of iron. Violet water pools on the floor, and it laps the edges of all of your boots. There are ripples echoing out in random pinpoints on that surface, as if disturbed by drops of invisible water, or as if listening to something that is soundless to you. Taste of grief is thick on your tongue, the back of your throat. See that masks that must have been ripped off of the walls of the catacomb have been set up here on these unhewn walls. They sag. Their mouths are open, and endless streams come pouring out, vanishing into the water below. And then there she is. A figure stands in the center of the flood, impossibly tall, sodden hair drifting like seaweed all about her. Her rib cage glows with glassy chimes, each crystal tolling in mournful harmony. It looks as if she's been split open, as if her flesh has been peeled away. And where there was bone, it is crystal and stone. Where she once had a mouth, a chin, and a jaw, instead there is a cracked bell, and it swings in her hollowed out throat, groaning with every breath. Her eyes are nothing but dark, weeping sockets. The bellwife turns and looks at each and every one of you. A single note rings through the silence. And then there is silence. This is a living curse, a monster. You know she is newborn. That means you have an advantage. What does everyone do? Beatrix is the first one to see it, so if you'd like to start.
I think I think their training just kind of kicks in immediately. Curses are to be dealt with. They're not to be observed. They are to be destroyed, newborn or not. Because once a living curse exists, it cannot be turned back. And I think I would ready my staff and kind of look to the others to make sure that they are also ready for whatever this is.
I think
And
yeah. I think the bishop will step forward there, sandals getting a bit wet with this purple water. I look at this little baby and I say,
Well, just for clarification, it is a grown woman, not a
I
baby.
know.
Okay.
Oh, just a little baby curse up
Yeah.
there. So small, so helpless. Bellwife, who sent you here?
As you call out to her, her head turns, whipping into your direction. She does not answer. As she fixes her attention on you, I need a will save from the bishop. As she
Is that
tries to reach out.
misfortune too?
Yeah,
'Cause I haven't rolled yet.
oh
A will
yeah,
save, you said?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a 12 plus 6, an 18.
Okay. You feel regret. You feel failure and emptiness. You Realize it's not yours, it's hers. In that eyeless stare that she has, that is what she says to you. Not with words, but with feeling. You see the amethyst water around you begin to glow.
I look at the others and say, she is hurting, and the things that she does is not out of a want for more, but it is a purposeful hurt to hopefully make her feel a bit better. I don't think that is going to solve her suffering.
I think the moment we walked into this room, the moment Stitches caught eye of this purse, I think I immediately tried to disappear to hide.
Elf.
Um, yeah, I'll roll that before I give my response. Hope it's not too bad. Okay, that's a 29.
Hey, you melt into shadow.
I think as you turn, as Beatrix turns, as the bishop turns, you just, unless Lath hides as well, you just see Lath. You don't see any sign of Stitches.
If you want to flavor this in any way, especially because we live in a deeply magical place, if you want to flavor this as more than just, I duck behind something. If you want to, like,
I know.
okay, okay.
Stitches is not a magical person. They do not cast magic. They are really just very physical. So
Okay.
I think it's just a case of I dip into the shadows,
Okay.
um, away from light, away from uh, any distracting or eye-catching things in this room. I just disappear.
When I look and see that Stitches is gone, the sheer look of not surprised is so apparent.
What about Lath?
Lath is not hiding here.
Okay.
Normally, if we're dealing with something, Lath isn't. No, unless things go south, Lath tends to be willing to be helpful. Um, if there's actually conflict, then he'll disappear and sneak up on something, but it doesn't look like he'd be very effective in this moment anyway, doing that. So he's mostly watching. He does pull out a couple extra herbs just to kind of calm himself because this is all just bad. Doesn't like the crystal specifically, which just links up and makes him think of the shard of this particular area and is unsurprised at the corruption.
I will
Uh,
say, especially because you have the herbs with you, when you don't catch a whiff of them, I think the smell of this space is punctuated. It's profound for you, especially.
I
There is a
assume
smell of
stagnant
rot.
water.
Yeah, it's
Rot.
stagnant. It's rot. It's something caught and dwelling without escape.
Yeah. It, Lath will definitely take a spot next to Beatrix just to, I guess, moral support, as this is not his area at all. And is also very unsurprised that Stitch is just gone.
Okay. Bitches, interject whenever you like. Beatrix, you have your weapon at the ready, Lath beside you. You've heard Bishop's words. How do you respond? The Bellwife is just watching.
Is it normal for living curses to not immediately attack?
Can be a thing, but generally it is not normal.
I
Go ahead
think.
and roll me Arcane Theory. Because,
Okay.
I mean, this is what you do.
Yeah, might as well roll about it.
We'll roll to determine how much I tell you.
Oh, hell yeah. That is. What's my bonus? Oh boy. That is 19 plus 12, 31.
Okay, with a 31, you know that with unpredictability, it usually comes from the newborn.
Okay.
The older a curse is, the more dangerous it is, the more predictable it is, because it generally, its agenda, its purpose becomes painfully clear. With this newborn, perhaps it is learning, perhaps it still has some shred of connection to its former self. You were absolutely correct. There is no reversal of this. In fact, holding it, it's very likely that if this was a seeker before, they died. He's not coming back.
Do I
But
recognize their face?
no, this is a stranger to you. Even with like the monstrous changes to her, you didn't know this person at all. But the Seekers is a large organization. Makes
Mhm.
sense. Sometimes people go on missions and they're gone for decades. However, I will say that you see the sigil of the Seekers hanging from her throat, confirming your suspicions.
It's just like my vision. And I'll say that out loud.
Stella, so do the colors that we see from the living curses, do they correspond at all to the iridescent, or is that more of just like the magic within them? How does that relate to that?
Yeah, so it's more that the iridescence relate to the magic itself. The colors are magic, and
Mhm.
the iridescents just happen to generally possess a pretty strong relationship with specific colors.
Mm,
So
gotcha.
the iridescents tie into the magic.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay.
I think, barring any action and seeing that this creature isn't immediately attacking, I kind of look to the bishop and say, be ready.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think with that, the bishop is just staring at this living curse. Um, I think, Stella, if you're right with this, I would like to cast some magic, and I'd like to um teleport to the the bell wife.
Hey, I'll say that this is going to cost you. Is it just you? You just want to teleport yourself?
I think it's just me, yes.
Okay. This will cost you 10 points from your arcane reservoir.
Okay.
And describe to me what this looks like, especially any colors that manifest in your magic.
Yeah, I think maybe Beatrix is most familiar with this. Like, especially like the look on Bishop Barromore's face is the look of empathy, like someone's about to go into confessional. Seeing this living curse or not, this individual with grief and this regret, something that Bishop Barrowmore has dealt with many times in the walls of their church. Um, I don't th- um I don't think anybody here has actually seen Bishop Barrowmore cast magic. Um, and so in this moment, Bishop Barrowmore barely moves their finger, and you all see Bishop Barrowmore almost like melt out of existence, leaving behind this deep, deep crimson red floating in the air. And Bishop Barrymore lands next to the Bellwife.
You imagine that your reappearance, it is surgical in that the water that pools around everyone's feet, it doesn't even ripple, or is it a splash? Do you drop into it? What happens with the water?
I think it is similar to the melting. There is like the unmelting of a candle, and so the water just disperses as mass just forms within it.
Okay. You have definitely caught the bell wife by surprise. She barely has any time to turn around and try to face you. Is there something that you want to do now that you are closer?
I think as I like land here, I think I'm going to um kind of use my energy there to see if I can like reach out and tether a little bit more to those feelings that she had, try to connect a little deeper. I know that this curse is not one for words, but is speaking in emotions. So I'm trying to really take that in and especially get a sense of which I think that living curse or not, Bishop Barrymore is familiar with seeing if an individual is worth the energy to try to save, or if this person is so far gone that it's better for them just to destroy themselves.
Okay. We'll break this into separate parts. So we'll do a sense motive check first. And then
Okay.
from there, if you want to try to push emotion, we will do either speech or you have to use magic.
All right. Yeah. So, 17 plus 10 is a 27.
Okay. You reach out, and as you do with your sense motive here, you feel again another wave and it hits you like nausea. Your grief and sorrow that's into your bones and it has an iron grip on you. This is a creature of grief. Something happened and it wasn't able to fulfill its mission. And now she is a ghost of herself. Perhaps she became the thing that destroyed her, that took her out. And she doesn't have anywhere to go. This is home. So she came back home, but she's no longer one of you. And it's overwhelming. It's heartbreaking. However, before you get to do anything else, I'm going to need a will save from everyone, please, as she responds.
All right.
Hey.
18.
Okay.
Rolled a 14.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
I would like to use an ability because my will is garbage. Thief's luck. And you can help me explain a little bit if I am misunderstanding. I can expend any number of physical points, and then I roll with an equivalent number of advantages on that roll.
Okay. Yes. So as an adept, you get mental points and physical points. You currently have 16.
Yes. I'd
Okay.
like to expend 4.
Okay. Go for it.
And then is that 4 separate rolls? Is that what the advantage means there, or is that an additional?
Yeah. You
Okay.
just choose
All
the
right.
highest one.
Wow.
Okay. So,
It's pretty
yep.
expensive, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. First one is a 10 total. That's a +6 for my stat.
Okay.
Second is a 13.
Love that we can hear the dice rolling.
Third is a
Yeah.
9. Yeah. And all right. And an 8. So 13.
Okay. That's
4
so
rolls.
unlucky. Yeah. And then that's 4 points that. Okay. What happens here is it feels almost as if the room turns upside down. It feels as if you've been submerged into water. All of you feel this overwhelming sense, this crushing essence of grief and sorrow as it washes over you. All of you collapse all at once in sync. And the bell wife, as she wheels around in the closeness of the bishop, reaches down and grabs you by the throat. And that is where we're going to end our session for today.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're fine.
Oh.
Totally fine.
I just need to wake up in time to grab all of the bishop's belongings, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Stitches isn't in the darkness like, oh, those
Oh,
3
no.
gold pieces.
Thank you so much, everyone who was here watching us on Twitch, and thank you so much to everyone who's watching us in the future on YouTube. And also, of course, thank you so much to Hedron, our sponsor, for making this series possible. You have just watched episode 1. There are a total of 4. You can come join us, watch live on next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, October 25. But before we go, I would absolutely love to have an opportunity to introduce everyone at the table again so they can tell you who they are, where you can find them, and what their favorite part was of the episode. And of course, as is tradition, I pick Drac first.
Hi, I'm Drac or Draconics. I've been Stitches the Innocent, Stitches the Faithful, and Stitches the Reliable. You can find me on all socials at Draconics. It's DRAKONIQUES. I'm mostly on Blue Sky, just add a .itch.io to find me there. Yeah, that was fun. I love this little world. I don't know if everyone knows this. This is like a homebrew world that Stella came up with.
It's not
So
100%
not
homebrew.
yeah.
Okay, so like the Starfields concept and a lot of like the bones of what we role played is in the quick start for Call
Oh,
to
perfect.
Power.
Hell yeah.
But like the actual like iridescence, like I made that up. I made up all of the different shards and like some of the interactions. And this adventure specifically that we are on, I did make that up. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Adventure. So I'm very excited to explore what thick things Stella has in store in this grim, dark world. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I can't wait for next week.
Thank you so much. We'll hop on over to Mandy.
Oh my god, hi. Once again, everybody, hi. I'm Mandy or the Mandy all over the internet. This is great. I love this character. My favorite part about this so far, I love the nods to like color and meaning and all of the like deep hidden like messages and things, all of the folklore and mythology influences. I see you, Stella. I see you, Stella. Absolutely loving it so far. Super excited for the rest.
Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to Dan.
Hello, yes, to Mystic Dan, and that is where I am everywhere as well on the socials and Twitch and all that. Yeah, this is fun. When Stella reached out, it was just like kind of Dark Souls esque, kind of number crunchy. It was a very easy, like, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get on that show, because those are all my favorite things. And yeah, I know I'm the odd person out, of course, but I do really like all of the numbers. That is just so far like my thing here, and I know that is not for everyone. Not saying against the system, more numbers aren't for everyone, but
Yes. We
give me
did
them.
streamline a lot of what you saw today, a lot of the calculations that were made for our roles, such as our bonuses. They have been already done off stream. That way we can spare you 3 hours of just doing mathematics. But the beauty of this game is that if you love numbers, it is absolutely going to be your vibe. There's so many numbers. In fact, the quick start not requires, it heavily recommends that you have a calculator when you play this game. So very, very special. Thank you so much, Dan.
Mhm.
We'll hop on over to Brandon.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon R. Kim. I've played Bishop Barrelmore, a very happy-go-lucky churchman. Man, I think I loved the little intros that everyone got. It was incredible to see all of your guys' characters come to life and just slot into this world so perfectly. And Stella, wonderful job with the world building. It's very inspiring and makes our job as performers with you very easy because the world is very, very, very clear and very, it just makes a lot of sense. And so kudos to you. And yeah, 3 more episodes. Can't wait.
Thank you very much. And I'm Stella Luna on Twitch, Stella Luna TV everywhere else. I have been your storyteller playing the roles of the Mason, Death, and Fate. We'll be back next week with more Call to Power. But until then, you stay safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.